Hello, I'm Alistair Greener. Welcome to the Telegraph Studios. Now, I've been reading on the BBC website that our bank fees are likely to be going up, and this is due to increased costs that the banks are experiencing. Now, there are many experts who might suggest that process automation could help banks keep those costs under control. To help us understand what that means and the implications of that, I'm joined by Keith Stagner from Impact. Good morning.
Good morning, Alistair.
Now, we hear all the time, don't we, about this wonderful technological revolution. Everything from IT solutions, the cloud, the Internet of Things, big data, and all of these great things. What are some of the amazing things that we can now do because of this?
Alistair, we're entering a stage of technology revolution. I could draw an analogy to the Industrial Revolution. And the Industrial Revolutions give us something really amazing. Standard machine components. Like Lego bricks that you can combine in different ways, even though there's tens of thousands, different colors, different shapes, and make amazing new things. If we stick with the Lego analogy, business process is like the foundation that you put the Lego blocks on. So you can take each of these bits of technology, you can snap it onto the foundation, combine it to deliver amazing things to your end customer.
I mean, that all sounds great, but the problem is if our competitors are also using it, it effectively becomes a zero-sum game, doesn't it?
We use processes for two things. First is to control the activity and coordinate it across multiple organizations. Going to have numerous people involved. Make sure that end-to-end they deliver a consistent result. And the second is to measure performance and actually understand if we've achieved the management objectives we set out to achieve. The problem is that processes in most organizations are disjointed and cumbersome. There's lots of handoffs, there's lots of waste. Up to 60% of the activities that performed in large organizations is waste. This affects the service that they deliver to customers and makes organizations less competitive. But process automation allows us to address both of those. It allows us to streamline process, eliminating the waste. It also allows us to automate that the handoff of tasks, the monitoring of those tasks, and to determine whether or not our performance is hitting our objectives.
And then how do you go about bringing about this change?
So, Alistair, we would have done a business case for change already. So we already have the foundation. So we know what the impacts are, and we know how the process should be changed. That's part of our future mode of operation. So what we need to do at this point is 4 steps. The first is that we automate the workflow. The second is we automate the performance monitoring and reporting. The third is we fully or partially automate the task in the workflow. And finally, we integrate with IT. If I could take a minute just to go into those. So when we automate the workflow, what we're looking to do is as the process is moving through the organization, the handoffs between staff, we streamline that and we reduce the amount of waste. So we get some immediate benefits out of that, and that's very short and sharp. The next thing, we're producing dashboards that actually allow managers to get a view of individual and team performance in real time as you're dealing with thousands of transactions, say a mortgage application moving through the organization. When we talk about automating the tasks, so within this process, there's a whole series of tasks. So the actions that humans do, actions that we're actually using bits of technology for. And this is where we plug in our Lego blocks. So whether it's big data and analytics to replace some decisioning that we have, or to determine a better course for the process to flow across the organization. That's where they fit in. And that really allows us to do some amazing stuff because we've got a structure for them. And finally is integrating in with the existing IT. So this is where the data exists today, and it would be a very big project to take it out. So we leave the data where it is, we pull it in for the process, we put it back at the end, update it to reflect the changes that have happened. The combined result of all of this is we can improve customer service and increase efficiency by 40 to 60%.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, and you've certainly given us a very clear idea of what process automation is all about. Keith Stagner from Impact, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Alistair.